instead of letting people say no, what happens if you actually get them to say no? Like, how does that change feelings, the way they react? And it makes such a massive difference, like instantaneous. Like, if it's important, I don't say, do you disagree? I say, do you disagree? I don't say, is this a good idea? Is this a ridiculous idea? I don't say, what, I'm never going for yes, I'm always going for no. And, if I can, because I know I'm all over the place here. I'm on a plane from JFK to LA, where it's a red eye, and a black businessman sitting next to me. He's kind of loud. He's got a big colorful sweater on, but I just not crazy out there, but I just think interesting cat. Clearly a businessman. He's got people on his team because people that are sitting back in the economy are walking by and hey boss, how you doing? And finally, but I hear him on the phone and he's just trying to force people to say yes. And finally, I can't take it anymore in between calls. And I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, look, get him to say no. Change your questions. You drive me crazy. I can't take it anymore. I'm hearing you shove this down people's throats. Switch from yes to no. And I go, instead of do you agree, do you disagree? Instead of would you do this, are you against doing this? And I give him a quick rundown of how to make the switch. And he's a smart dude, picks it right up really fast. So he gets back on the phone. And I also say, the reason you should listen to me is because I wrote this book, Never Split the Difference. So just do it. Smart dude, learnable, coachable, does it, instantaneous. Looks back at me and says, thanks. He says, let me introduce myself. My name's Trevor. You may know me by my stage name, Busta Rhymes. And I'm like, wow, okay. Your hair's a little shorter right now. I didn't recognize you right off the bat, but I do recognize that name.
You go on to say no has a lot of skills. No allows real issues to be brought forth. No protects people from making and lets them correct ineffective decisions. No slows things down so people can freely embrace their decisions and their agreements they enter into. No helps people feel safe, secure, emotionally comfortable, and in control of all their decisions. No moves everyone's efforts forward. And there's a thing that you point out here which is important, because you say using this chapter's tools in daily life is difficult for many people because they go directly against one of society's biggest social dictums, that is, be nice, right? Especially because in the book you're like, hey, smile, be pleasant, and getting people to say no is one of those things. You say we've instrumentalized niceness as a way of greasing the social wheels, yet it's often a ruse. We're polite and we don't disagree to get through daily existence with the least degree of friction. But by turning niceness into a lubricant, we've leached it of meaning. A smile and a nod might signify get me out of here as much as it means nice to meet you. That's death for a good negotiator who gains their power by understanding their counterpart's situation and extracting information about their counterpart's desires and needs. Extracting that information means getting the other party to feel safe and in control. And while it may sound contradictory, the way to get there is by getting the other party to disagree, to draw their own boundaries, to define their desires as a function of what they do not want. In other words, getting them to say no.
Yeah, it's nuts. it's the different skills are counterintuitive to their own degree. Like, the extremely strong degree that getting somebody to say yes makes them uncomfortable, concerned, worried about what kind of traps they're walking into, where's the hook, what have I forgotten. Complete different 180-degree turn on getting them to say no. Like the comfort level from saying no, and then the ability to think things through immediately. Like if I were to say to you, disagree, do you disagree? You go, no, I don't disagree, but here are the following problems. And you'd lay them right out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right off the top of your head. Have no problem. If I'd have said, do you agree? and you wanted to say, yes, I agree, but here are the following problems, you won't do it the second way, because you would have felt that the mere utterance of the word yes hooked you. And so then anything that you lay out after that feels like you're digging yourself in deeper. But having said no, you don't feel hooked. So now you're going to lay out the next 4 or 5 things that you might need because you don't feel like you're digging yourself in deeper. And the next 4 or 5 things after the yes or no are what's critical. It's never right there. It's never at the point of decision. It's really, here are the problems, or here's what you got to accomplish. And you got to get past that. And you get past it freely when people say no, because they feel safe and protected. They feel no sense of obligation. They don't feel like they're digging themselves in with each thing they say after that.